Andrew Dish Nation. You guys, can we just have like an 8-minute therapy session? Because
Bring it.
I just want to like fucking unload on you guys. I have to say, before I became a host, I worked for insane movie producers. So part of this film was a little like PTSD triggering for me. So I appreciate that, Justine. Thank you for doing that. Olivia, I will start with you. I guess my first question is what is it like having a co-star, a main co-star in Justin that you can't see? Were you, thinking about his voiceover when you read the script, when you were doing your lines? How did that work?
Well, the Justin voice in my head was Justine, actually. Mostly, because there was a lot of that was written in the script, but in editing, Justine found more things to create more of a pressure cooker. So there were things that I wasn't even privy to that she added into that. But also, she had someone on set who would be the voice, and he was a really talented voice actor. But there were times where, Justine, this is her baby, and she wrote it, so brilliantly wrote it, but I really needed Justine. I needed her, so I'd ask, can Justine do, and it was, it was a scary thing to feel like, because Justine could really she's an amazing actress as well, so she'd really dive into those voiceover things that was like you, I understand. I'm like, I needed some, it was like, this is intense. I need to go to therapy after this for a little bit too. Because it brought up everything that I tried to you try to work through your life, right?
I mean, literally, Justine, so I'll go to you next, obviously, because it did make me think of all these things, obviously. But in your opinion, why do we kind of self-destruct? Why do people like to self-destruct? Or why don't they just fucking, God, I need to stop swearing. My editors are going to hate this. Why don't we just be who we are and embrace it and be confident? Why do we go down that path?
Okay. Remember the last scene in the film? I believe it's a survival instinct that we have, because in my experience, any worst case scenario I'm hearing, I can ask, and then what would happen? And then what would happen? If I follow all the links of the chain, it almost always ends in, and then you'll die. And people can try that as an experiment. And so the example I always use is, don't wear that shirt to the party or no one will talk to you. Consciously or unconsciously, I'll change my shirt because I don't want that to happen. But why? What's the big deal? Right? I mean, that worst case scenario is probably not even going to happen. But I think it's because my system, not knowing the difference between a rational fear and an irrational fear, is reacting to the idea that if I don't change my shirt, I'm going to die. Just as an experiment, people should try to ask that thought, and then what would happen? And then what would happen? So I think I think the reason is because we're trying to survive. But in knowing that our minds are making this irrational connection to death, I think that helps us to go, oh, I see. I'm trying to keep myself alive. Well, that makes sense. Well, you know what, though? If I wear that shirt to the party, I don't think those things are actually going to happen. And I'm going to go find out. Let me go find out if I die, if I wear that shirt to the party. And chances are you won't.
All right, Luke, now I'm going to get deep with you. I want to get into your head a little bit. How do you handle self-doubt?
You don't want to do that, mate.
Wait, hold on. You're Australian? Hold on.
Yeah.
What? Your accent was amazing.
Thank you very much. I'm glad.
I'm leaving. I don't know what. I had no idea you were Australian.
Thank you.
Okay.
That makes me feel really good. Thank you.
First of all, congratulations on your accent. So that, let alone. But yes, in this business, obviously, there's a lot of self-doubt. And how do you power through? How do you get through to those? How do you not listen to your demons?
I think it's about finding perspective on them. It's, they're always going to be there. I think it would be, you've got to weigh up these options, right? You've got to find what these two things are saying to you in your head. And yeah, it's important to know, to grab as much knowledge as you can on a certain decision or a certain aspect of your life. But as Justine says, it's like, okay, let's be realistic about this. And what is the worst thing that can happen this way? In terms of my demons and worries and fears that I have personally, I don't know. I guess for me, it's a perspective thing. Whose ideas or like thoughts of me really matter to me? They're my family and my friends. So as long as I'm upholding and making decisions and acting in a way that makes them proud and them kind of, that's the Luke they know, then I feel everything else is just white noise to me. If I can find perspective on, that's the kind of perspective I look for. They're the people that are important to me, and they're the people that affect my life on an everyday basis and more than anyone else in the world. So if I feel like I'm doing things that they be proud of and acting in a way that they know me to act, then that's kind of how I shut out the noise that way. I try to not be involved in kind of anything outside that. I avoid I avoid the kind of attention outside of, I guess I'm in movies and people watch that, but I'm lucky that that's not necessarily me in the movie. It's a character and that I get to play. So when it comes to like actually Luke, and I just try and stay away from all that and let my movies do the talking and my characters do the talking in that way, because ultimately, yeah, as I said, it's my friends and my family that matter to me. And so yeah, that kind of simplifies things for me, I think. If you try and please everyone, then you'll end up pleasing no one.
How are you so well balanced for being an actor? Like, I'm very, I mean, you're very
I
well
never wanted to
balanced.
be an actor.
Oh, okay.
Or a professional rugby player, right, Luke?
I would have liked to have been. That was what I wanted to do in my life. But then I found out that it's much easier pretending to be a tough guy than actually being one.
There you go. Olivia, if you could have any celebrity be your inner voice in your head, who would that celebrity be and why, Olivia Munn?
Well, now it's Luke Bracey because of everything we just heard. I mean, like I'm literally listening to him. I mean, I already know this about Luke, you know, having filmed with him and, you know, like on an indie movie, you become a family and you get really close. But listening to him, I wish I just like when I'm hearing him, all I'm thinking is, what's his family like? What was it like for him to grow up? Because you know, it was very different in my family, you know, and I think a lot of that's where a lot of our voices, you know, they come from, you know, and I felt, you know, there's a lot of times where I would like just question myself, you know, there's just so many fear-based things. And then if you have the right family around you, the right people around you, the right dynamics around you, then I think that a lot of times you can grow up to be like Luke. But you know, but when you struggle with a lot of other things, and I struggled with a lot of stuff growing up, you know, it's hard to change that voice.
Awesome. Thank you all. Justine, congratulations. I'm a Critics' Choice member and I genuinely love your film. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Andrew, you're a
Thank
kid.
you very much.
To talk to you again about some other projects.
Please, they can find me. Please. I really, really enjoyed this film. It was awesome. And you guys, Luke's my new therapist. So thanks, Luke. I'm gonna call you. Yeah.
Have a great day, mate. Nice to meet you.
Thanks.